And are you getting a nice picture of Priscilla?
Do I wanna be adored?
Now Priscilla was here when the first years I moved here, so she was probably in 1991 litter.
Damned old dog. I wouldn't be fussy.
And so she is a pretty old cat to have survived here on the outside for so many years. All those carrying capacity of cats out there, 20 to 30 cats I have, are all descended from her.
Broken dog.
This is the outhouse. Lots of things happen on the way to the outhouse. Since my house is still very rustic, does not have a bathroom, I have the pleasure of walking out here every morning, and it just depends what season of the year as to what's happening. In the spring during lambing, I can look out on the pasture and I might see 3 or 4 ewes around a bunch of lambs, everybody trying to sort out whose is whose. Other times I look out on this field and I may see 100 elk grazing as I sit with the door open to the outhouse. So there's lots of nice memories too on the way to the outhouse, and some sadder memories regarding the man who used to own this place. But I think maybe I should say how I got here in the first place. In 1971, 72, I immigrated from the United States to join my husband in Toronto, and we were both working at U of T and enjoying all the things in the east. We enjoyed the leaves and canoeing up in Algonquin Park, but then frequently we'd make an excursion out here to ski in Banff or hike out in Lake Louise or go up to Jasper. So I was somewhat familiar with the Calgary area. In 78, my husband died, and then in 83, I had the opportunity of coming out here and working at Foothills Hospital in doing some research, which I did. And then from there, I started teaching part-time at Mount Royal and eventually full-time. Walking along Bow Crescent, I saw a house for sale and I bought it, although it was just a shell, and spent some time getting it into the proper shape for, in fact, it was beautiful. It still is. It's a beautiful place. Once that was set up, I decided to indulge myself and get a border collie. I had always wanted a border collie ever since I was a child, and I bought a beautiful little border collie who was very smart, like all border collies. And so I, after a year, decided that she should have an opportunity to fulfill her drives. And so I bought her some sheep. The people who were willing to board the sheep also had some dogs that were willing to eat them, unfortunately. And so I eventually figured I could kill my own sheep and went looking for property to put them. I thought I'd get a small acreage. When I came out to this beautiful area, I was trying to decide what to do, and the person who was selling the place said, well, why don't you just take the whole thing? And before I knew it, 24 hours, I had said yes to this place. Eventually, with the help of a very good bank manager, who is still friends, actually, he was the one who made it happen. And so I bought this place, moved the sheep out, and the person I bought it from was in his 80s. And he had raised, I don't know, 10, 12 kids here with his wife. His wife had died maybe 10 years ago. And he certainly did not want to be shunted off to an old people's home. So I said he could live here as long as he wanted. And I would drive back and forth from Calgary, which I did. So he lived here for about a year and a half until one day I came out, and Bill, who was always kibitzing and telling me how to do things and what to do, just wasn't around. So I did my various chores. And then I saw the horse just looking just strangely at the outhouse, and I went and checked, and old Bill had died in the outhouse and was leaning up against the wall. I looked through a little knothole after knocking, or seeing that it was obviously occupied. And after that, I had a young couple who wanted a rustic existence. So they lived here about 6 months. They really enjoyed it here, and I enjoyed having them here. But at the time they left, it was spring, I guess, and I was just starting to lamb. So I just started camping out here, and I've been camping ever since.
If I was a damned old dog, I wouldn't have to goddamn human being.